presenter, Dr. Olabi Akim. Today we shall be looking at the topic where we left it. We have actually been talking about learning disability, and in the course of this discussion we have been able to tell you about learning disability. We have defined them, we have explained them, we have told you what you need to see to be able to agree or accept that you have someone who is living with learning disability. We have also talked about the various types of learning disabilities and how they affect whosoever is living with it. Today, we are going to look at the causes of learning disability. What are those things that are responsible for anyone to live with learning disability? You are going to join the stream of discussion now. Please subscribe to our YouTube, tell others about it, repost and share to all those who need to see it, because there are quite a number of people who are living with learning disability, and we have lived in denial of the fact that there is a challenge, a disorder, a problem known as learning disability. Join me now. Tell others that there is a channel known as Educa TV, proudly High-Field Consult, that is talking about learning disability. One of the things that can really lead to learning disability is brain damage, brain injury. Brain injury could be responsible for why anyone will have learning disability, why anyone will live with learning disability. Of course, brain damage could be caused as a result of falling off from a height. It could be due to accident. It could be due to birth complications. Or it could be to so many others. Premature birth, premature delivery could also be, or birth trauma could be reasons why anyone could have learning disability. But I need to quickly tell you this. We have a number of high performers, academically performing persons who also have head injury, brain damage, and yet they do not have learning disability. Just as we also have those who are low performers academically, who do not have head injury, who do not have brain damage, who do not have birth trauma, yet they have learning disability. But we could say and conclude through research and evidences that brain damage, head injury, brain injury could also be responsible for why anyone will have learning disability. Of course, after this program, we are going to talk about what are the ways that brain injury could impede learning and bring about learning disability. But let's quickly go to the second one. The other one, apart from brain injury, could be error in brain development. When there is error in the brain development, there will always be a problem. Sometimes some children have errors in the brain development. The way the brain has developed, there are errors. Some chemicals are supposed to develop, some hormones are supposed to develop, some of our brains do not receive enough oxygen, and some of these will also be responsible for why anyone will have learning disability. So errors in brain development can also be part of it. One of the things that will also cause learning disability is chemical imbalances in the brain, because learning disability has to do majorly with the brain. It does not have anything to do with your eye, it does not have anything to do with your hearing in most cases, but it has a lot to do with the brain. Let me not say it does not have a lot to do with your hearing. It has to do with your hearing, it has to do with your sight, your visual, but then majority of the problems that emanate from learning disability will always have to do with the brain. Chemical balances are the one I say chemical imbalances. When there is chemical imbalances in the brain, there will always be delay in information, there will always be delay in transmitting messages. And so in this case, you find anyone who is living with learning disability not being able to translate information that person is listening to. That person has problem with listening, has problem with writing, has problem with speaking, has problem with drawing, has problem with so many other things, because there is what we call chemical imbalances. Of course, you know that there is chemical neurotransmitters in our brain, and they require the chemical around a certain region to be able to function very well. We are going to talk about these two, and then there is the place of heredity, the ability to transfer these from parents to their children. You find some parents having learning disability, and you also have their children also having academic learning disability. Little wonder you find some parents, you say, oh, that parent has learning disability, he hasn't been able to do so many things. And we can see it in his firstborn, the secondborn, the thirdborn, and the fourthborn. Sometimes you don't see it in their parents, but you see it in their children. By the time you find it in one child, you find it in another child, you find it in the third one, then you begin to suspect that the learning disability this child has or these children are having is hereditary. We also have the environmental influences. The environmental influences is another big factor that can also cause learning disability. Of course, the environmental influences is varying. There is the school environment has its own problem. We have the home environment has its own problem. We have the community environment has its own problem. We have the playground environment that has its own problem. And we have the neighborhood influences environment that also poses a problem onto anyone having learning disability. These are the various causes of learning disability. We haven't been able to really put the cause onto any particular child, onto any particular sufferer, but we know that when one has learning disability, it could be any of these causes that we have also mentioned. Of course, poisoning could be part of it when one is exposed to food poisoning, gaseous poisoning, and so many other things. If anyone has head injury as a result of an accident, there could be learning disability. It does not say that once you have an accident and it involves the head, you will definitely have learning disability. No, we haven't said that. But it could also be one of the reasons why anyone could have learning disability. Okay, at the previous episodes, I have told you that learning disability cannot be spiritually transferred. It cannot be spiritually caused. There has not been any evidence, any empirical formula to say that there is a spiritual explanation as to anyone having learning disability. There hasn't also been what I call incantational references, where you say, oh, because this man has been cursed, a spell has been placed on him, and that is why he has learning disability. There has not been an evidence to back that up as well. There has also not been evidence that when one has a bad complication, it will always result into learning disability. But we do know that some children, when they have bad complications, when they have bad trauma, they could also fall into the categories of person that will be living with learning disability. However, what it is, be free to call Dr. Owolabi Akeem on -educonsult@yahoo.com or the number that is scrolling on this number, on this screen, 080-523-12966. You can get this number on your WhatsApp. You can call us freely. We will be ready to attend to you. Anywhere you are in the world, any part of the world, we will attend to you. But we know that other parts of the world are solving this problem. So we should solve these problems in Africa. We should solve these problems in Nigeria. We should solve this problem around us so that we don't continue to look for people as being responsible for why our children, our brothers, our sisters, our persons have learning disability. Let's solve a problem, because there are scientific proofs that there is a problem called learning disability, and there are ways to help those children overcome. We may not be able to treat them as a disease because they are not a disease. We may not be able to say this is the particular solution to it, but we can modify anyone who is living with learning disability to be able to come better in life. Once again, it is Dr. Owolabi Akeem, your regular host.